Mr. Speaker, I rise today to recognize the Texas A&M University Corps of Cadets for receiving the Guardian of the Human Spirit Award from the Holocaust Museum, Houston, on November 14, 2018. The Holocaust Museum, Houston created the Guardian of the Human Spirit Award in 1997 to recognize and to thank those who have enhanced the lives of others and who have worked to better humankind. This year, the museum decided to honor the Corps of Cadets because of the many contributions made by Texas Aggies during World War II. There were 20,229 Aggies who served in World War II, including 14,123 who served as officers, many of whom you will see in this commissioning photo to my left, including 5 general officers. This is more than any other school, including the combined totals of the United States Military Academy and the United States Naval Academy. Almost all of the Aggies who served during the war had been members of the Corps of Cadets during their time at Texas A&M, and they absorbed the Texas A&M values of leadership, service, and integrity. Since the founding of the university in 1876, tens of thousands of Texas Aggie Corps of Cadets members have fought to protect the liberties and safety of our country. From the Spanish-American War in the late 1800s to the ongoing war on terror, Aggies have served to stop tyranny and terrorism for freedom-loving persons all over the world. During World War II, Texas Aggie Corps members were involved in the war from the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, where Aggies fought and died, to the victory in the Pacific in August of 1945. They fought and died in every battlefield of the war. During this period, there were numerous acts of exceptional sacrifice, including the liberation of German and Japanese concentration camps, and the heroism displayed by Texas A&M's 7 Congressional Medal of Honor recipients. One of the better-known accomplishments occurred on D-Day, 6 June 1944, when Lieutenant Colonel James Earl Rudder, Texas A&M class of 1932, commanded the U.S. Army's 2nd and 5th Ranger Battalions, which stormed the beach and scaled the 100-foot-high cliffs at Pointe du Hoc in France. The attack saw a casualty rate of over 50%, and Rudder was wounded twice. Despite these casualties, Rudder and his men established a beachhead for Allied troops to land and to begin the liberation of Nazi-occupied Europe. The service of Aggies during World War II was recognized by numerous civilian and military leaders. General Omar Bradley wrote about Rudder, "No soldier in my command has ever been wished a more difficult task than that which befell the 34-year-old commander of the Provisional Ranger Force." General George S. Patton, the famous 3-star general who served during World War II, is reported to have said this about Texas Aggies: "Give me an army of West Point graduates, I'll win a battle. Give me a handful of Texas Aggies, I'll win a war." General Douglas MacArthur told A&M President T.O. Walton early on during the war, "A&M is writing the military history in the blood of its graduates, not only in the Philippines campaign, but on all active fronts of the Southwest Pacific." In 1946, Dwight D. Eisenhower said, "No more convincing testimony could be given to the manner in which the men of Texas A&M lived up to the ideals and principles inculcated in their days on the campus than the simple statement that the Congressional Medal of Honor has been awarded to 6 former students and that 46 took part in the heroic defense of Bataan and Corregidor, and that nearly 700 are on the list of our battle dead." General Omar Bradley told the graduating class of 1950, "The men of Texas A&M can stand up to any men in the world and compare favorably on their education and training for leadership in the pursuits of peace, and if it comes to war, leadership and battle." The Aggies' presence in the war was invaluable, and their sacrifices are a reflection of our school's values of respect, leadership, integrity, loyalty, excellence, and selfless service. As a former member of Texas A&M Corps of Cadets, I am humbled by and proud of the service and sacrifice of our cadets during the school's 142-year history. Cadets at Texas A&M have long been known as the university's keepers of the spirit, and now the Corps will also be known as the guardians of the human spirit, thanks to the recognition from the Holocaust Museum, Houston. Mr. Speaker, I would like to thank the Holocaust Museum, Houston, for recognizing the contributions made by the Texas A&M Corps of Cadets in World War II and to congratulate the Corps for receiving the Guardian of the Human Spirit Award. I've requested that a United States flag be flown over the Capitol to honor the legacy, values, sacrifice, and service of Texas A&M University's Corps of Cadets. As I close today, I urge all Americans to continue praying for our country, for our veterans, for our military men and women who serve us, and for our first responders who keep us safe at home.